Hey everybody, and welcome back to another deep dive with us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment. We really do love hearing from you. Today we are diving into a story so wild you'd think it was pulled straight from a political satire. Okay, so picture this. Donald Trump, a Pennsylvania rally, and Arnold Palmer's anatomy. Yeah, you heard that right. So we're going to unpack how a comment about a deceased golfer's physique has become this political hot potato,
Yeah.
and what it might mean for the upcoming election.
I think what's fascinating is how this seemingly bizarre event taps into so many different things at once. We've got celebrity, we've got sports, and we've got political discourse. It's like a snapshot of where we are culturally right now.
Totally. So just 2 weeks before a major election, Trump decides to share his thoughts on Arnold Palmer's,
Ah.
well, let's just say manhood at a rally. I mean, talk about unexpected campaign material. And the podcast, Pod Save America. Oh, they were all over this. They were both fascinated and confused, especially host Tommy Viator. He was basically like, how can Trump make these kinds of comments and still have such strong support among evangelical voters? It's a head-scratcher for sure.
Especially considering how often that voting blog really emphasizes morality and family values. But this actually speaks to a pattern we've seen, throughout Trump's career, this disconnect between his personal conduct and the unwavering loyalty of his base. It makes you wonder, what's the dynamic at play here?
Right, is there something deeper going on? And to give you a taste of what we're dealing with, here's the actual quote from Trump. This is a guy that was all man. He took showers with the other pros. They came out of there. They said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
But it doesn't stop there. He goes on to say, we have women that are highly sophisticated here, but they used to look at Arnold, they'd say, man. It's like he's trying to connect his comment to this female admiration, which just adds another layer of complexity to the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. And the reactions were priceless. We're talking everything from late-night comedy jokes to utter condemnation,
Yeah.
even from Palmer's own daughters.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question. Will this bizarre incident, just days before the election, actually sway voters one way or another?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a fascinating question.
it's a fascinating question. We know Trump has weathered plenty of controversy before, even after a string of, let's say, unconventional remarks. He still held on to a significant portion of white regular churchgoers in the 2020 election.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to the Pew Research Center.
Yeah. So there's definitely a precedent for his base sticking by him. But here's the thing. The 2024 election is a whole different ballgame. We can't just assume those trends will automatically repeat. And this is where it gets really interesting. While some people see this comment as a potential turnoff for voters, one of the Pod Save America co-hosts, Jon Favreau, actually thinks it could appeal to a different demographic, younger voters.
That's right. His theory is that it reinforces a certain image of masculinity that might resonate with a younger crowd. It begs the question, is there a segment of the population that finds this kind of bold, unapologetic style appealing?
Right.
And if so, what does that tell us about how cultural values are evolving?
It really makes you think. It's like political messaging has become this super targeted, nuanced game where different messages are designed to appeal to very specific groups. So we've got this bizarre incident conflicting interpretations and a whole lot of uncertainty about how it will all play out in the election. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Why should you even care about a politician's off-color remarks about a deceased golfer?
Well, because it's not really about the golfer, is it? It's about understanding the forces shaping our political conversations, the ways in which candidates try to connect with voters, and the cultural trends that influence how we see everything, from masculinity to political correctness. This whole situation is an invitation to think critically about the information we consume and how it contributes to the larger narratives of our time.
Exactly. It's like, don't just accept everything you hear at face value. Dig deeper, explore different perspectives, and form your own informed opinions. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder to not take everything so seriously. Sometimes a little bit of humor, even if it's unintentional, can help us navigate the absurdity of it all.
Humor can definitely be a coping mechanism in these politically charged times, but it's also worth remembering that what one person finds funny, another might find offensive. And that's the tightrope politicians often walk, especially in our current climate where every word and action can be scrutinized and amplified.
Totally. So as we head into this election, it's a good reminder to pay attention not just to what candidates say, but how they say it and who they're trying to reach with their message. And think about how those messages land with different audiences. What do those reactions tell us about the cultural and political landscape we're living in?
That's a great point. This seemingly insignificant event actually opens up some really big questions. We've explored the incident itself, the reactions it provoked, and the larger questions it raises about political strategy, voter behavior, and the evolving dynamics of cultural values.
We hope this deep dive has left you with more questions than answers, because that's what truly engaging with complex issues is all about. Critical thinking is more important than ever in our information-saturated world. It's like we're all trying to solve this giant puzzle, right, where the pieces are things like political strategy and cultural trends and how people see the world. And sometimes the pieces just don't seem to fit together, like in this whole Arnold Palmer situation.
Right. It really highlights how complex and unpredictable things can be. And it reminds us that we all interpret things through our own lenses, based on our own experiences and values. So, what might seem offensive to one person could be a point of connection for someone else.
Yeah, it's a good reminder to be open-minded and to try to understand where other people are coming from, even if we don't agree with them.
Absolutely. It's all about having those respectful conversations, even when we're talking about sensitive or controversial topics.
So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the strange saga of Donald Trump, Arnold Palmer's physique, and the wild world of modern politics.
We've explored the incident, the reactions, and the bigger questions it raises about how candidates connect with voters, the role of cultural values, and how we make sense of it all in this crazy information age.
We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought. Remember, critical thinking is your superpower in today's world. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment below with your thoughts on this bizarre tale. We'd love to hear what you think. Until next time, keep diving deep.